Welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. We are going to be reviewing 5 amazing Clash of Clans attacks. These are hand-picked from our most recent war against USA adults. Now, each of these attacks have something amazing that I want to highlight. Here at CrunchTime, we are recruiting maxed out Town Hall 11 and 12 players, so you can check my Discord. The link is down in the description of this video if you're interested in joining us. But let's get into them 5 attacks. Alrighty guys, let's get into the first one, which is a Town Hall 12. As you can see, there are 6 minutes left in the war, and it's pretty much in the bag for us on this one. Is just a random spin. We did agree a no-dip war. Again, USA adults, massive shout out to them. They are a well-known clan and compete at the highest level as well, so a big shout out to them. But this first attack is the bat spell. That's what I want to highlight. It has been super strong in recent times, and just because it's had nerfs, it still has its place in the game. Now stay tuned for the next attack. Lots of baby dragons. It is starting to become quite the meta. I've seen many attacks with it, but let's get into this one. The dragons are basically swooping through the base, and what you can see is that we have the bat spells up to the north of the base. We do get a little bit fortunate here with the Giga Tesla, but in essence the bat spells are used to take out this entire northern area of the base here, whilst the dragons can press through the bottom area of the base. There's a lot of wizard towers, multi-infernos, everything like that, which do nothing to the dragons. That is clearly where we want to send them. Meanwhile, the air defense, which was on the opposite side of the base, the bat spells were able to be swooped right across that top side and take down this base very effectively because of that. In essence, we created a funnel by having the king on one side of the base and the queen on the other side of the base. That is the simplest way of setting up a funnel for your dragons to swoop through the base, and then it's just a case of timing the bat spells onto that area where you do want to wipe out an area of the base, in essence. Let's move down to the next one. It is base number 12. Now, as you can see with this attack, if we load up the replay for you, we do indeed have 11 baby dragons. Now notice how this will be used. You can see next to that we have the healers. So we do have a queen charge coming in here, and notice how we use the baby dragons. They can be used in this method, and you can also use them with rage spells to swoop through the base. Now if you have enjoyed this one, if you are enjoying it, be sure to leave a like guys. It really does help the videos out massively. As we come in then, we use a couple of loons just to snipe off some of these defenses and help to create the funnel. In essence, we are taking out the buildings here so that we can directly move the queen down the base, and what you will see is into the base this way. That's because we are going to wipe out this area of the base with the king and wizards. If you are new to the channel as well guys, be sure to subscribe for all of my Clash of Clans content. Do bring you lots of these analysis style videos as best as I can. So as the wall breakers come in, do not forget about the wall breakers guys. They can be a fantastic tool to get you just them couple of layers in. Do not forget about them. A lot of time now we have the jump spell, we have the wall wrecker, the stone slammer. The wall breakers, just a couple of troops can get you in, but look at the value we're going to get here. As the king comes down, he's managing to get the multi-inferno, and we have the jump spell to allow the queen into the center of the base here. She's going to now be able to pick off many of the defenses on the center of the base here, in the center of the base even, and from there it's really trying to keep the queen targeted onto the defenses. So I've zoomed out a little bit here so you can see what happens with the baby dragons. As the queen comes through and starts to target target some other of these defences, what you want is her to target the defences, as with the other troops. So the Stone Slammer comes into the defences, and the baby dragons, notice how they're very evenly spaced out around the outside of the base. Now that is going to allow the troops themselves in the middle, like I said, the queen mainly, the balloons aren't really going to focus on the outside, to focus on the defences and wipe out the trash buildings with the baby dragons. The baby dragons can then move into the base very easily, so here they are alongside the balloons helping out, and we're going to do exactly the same at the top. It's very easy to wipe out these trash buildings and then surround in over with the baby dragons, and look at how well they merge in with the balloons. I really liked how this one was done in terms of bringing the baby dragons from the outside of the base. So the first attack had the bat spell, that's what I wanted to focus with that. This one had the baby dragons around the outside of the base. Again, not something that you always tend to see, but a very nice touch in order to help get this one done. Many trash buildings on the outside there, so able to take them out with the baby dragons and then close in towards the defenses. Now we move on to the miners. Now you guys have actually been commenting in the last couple of days for miners, Valkyries, bowlers, them styles of attacks. I will try and bring them to you as best as I can, but I found a nice minor attack here within our war. I try to recap the most interesting attacks as best as possible and basically bring a bit of variety to the channel as well. So funnel gets created here very easily with the baby dragon and wizard sending the queen up over, which is exactly where we want her to go. Now why exactly do we want her to go in that direction? Well, mainly the enemy queen is up at the top here, and notice this little pocket that we can send the queen into, the eagles there, and we get access to the CC troops as well. So that is exactly some of the things that you would want from your queen charge. So a perfect setup here, if you ask me, in terms of bringing in the queen charge. Now I really liked the Grand Warden's ability as well. The eagle had attracted itself onto the Grand Warden, and that was basically the only way of protecting it. The jump spell is a nice touch as well because it allows the queen that little bit further into the base, but unfortunately the healers were actually on the Grand Warden, not really helping our queen at this stage, so in come the miners. However, at Town Hall 11, the Eagle Artillery is probably the main defense you need to get down. So as we come down here, you can see plenty of heal spells. They are going to be used in them areas where the splash damages are. I do like the king on the outside as well, just to keep the miners, again, very similar to that other attack, keeping the miners in the base here. You do not want them going outside to the trash buildings. Then we're basically bringing in the Stone Slammer with some more miners. Again, if you've got access to that siege machine, it's going to be helpful, whether that's purely with tanking or whether it's taking out some defenses with the Stone Slammer. Getting down to the end of it, it is going to be a close one, this one, but the queen charge got so much value that even though she didn't get the multi-infernos, the miners have got more than enough firepower to get this one done, and the king is still alive on the outside of the base. Now, with the best will in the world, I know I teach you guys to try and create that funnel on the outside as well. Send the king down there is the most simplistic way of doing it, maybe a baby dragon to keep the miners into the base, but often you can't get ahead of the miners quick enough. They do end up coming to the outside of the base. It's just trying to help yourself as best as possible, and coming down to the end of this one, the miners have no problem finishing off that base. So I really wanted to show that queen charge, and basically there we go, war has ended, a nice victory for CrunchTime. And how you can set up the attack, now it didn't have to be miners, it could be something else. Let's get into the next one. You saw a sneak peek of this one at the start. Again, I try and do that with my videos when we're starting things off. It is the Electron method, but you don't always have to use the battle blimp. The battle blimp was obviously what was used for the Electron because it was easy to get them balloons where you want to, but if you can get a little bit of value, take out some buildings whilst you're on the way, you might as well clone the loons using the Stone Slammer. E-Drag manages to get the queen here and is also going to turn and get the dragon here as well. So brilliant value in terms of the Sui Stone Slammer, taking out a section of the base and taking out the CC and the queen. Now it's a case of Sui heroes. Now I think he'd already planned to take out this little section in terms of we get an air defense, we get a Tesla, and we also get an archer tower here as well. So a little bit of value, but also helping pathing of the loons is a big one here. Granted, we could have sent the king and queen down to this area to try and pick off a couple of wizard towers. Might have been something to do. Just depends on how you want to look at it really, but I think the main reason he came from this right hand side is this sweeper. We have to hit a sweeper head on here. Not something you always want to do, but obviously you want to try and maximize your efficiency of getting to that sweeper as soon as possible. So notice how we haste the loons on the left here, yeah, and we've also got loons coming in from the right, so the sweeper cannot keep up with both of them. We're able to then sneak on top of it with one set of loons. As soon as that goes down, reinforcing from this right hand side, just because again when we get to the middle here, loons could split this way, some could split down to the bottom here, and you do not want that inefficiency. You want to try and control their pathing, and the way you do that is by surgically bringing in more loons. And notice how since we're trying to take down this end, we can kind of merge them together. Still kind of happens with the split. That was a big area of the base down here in order to try and take out them defenses. It was a lot of defenses to take, but coming down to the end of it, the Electron method, if you can get the value, and what I mean by value is generally speaking the enemy queen, the enemy CC, and a bunch of defenses in an area. If you can do that with just the battle blimp or the stone slammer and the clones, you're laughing really, you really are. At Town Hall 12 you're gonna have to be thinking as to whether you can get the Giga Tesla as part of that kill squad, whether that be from with your heroes coming in. You really just have to work out what is actually best. So moving on to the final attack, if you guys are interested in having a bit more of a chat with the community that we have here, be sure to join my Discord. The link is down in the description. That is also how you can join CrunchTime. All of the information for that is in my Discord server as well. But wanted to show you a Town Hall 10 attack. So we've had a bit of variety today. Town Hall 10, Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 12, and for this last one you're really going to see the value of this queen charge again coming into it. At Town Hall 10 it was just a very nice demonstration of the queen getting so much value and making the lava loon very easy. And one of the things I wanted to highlight on this one is that the stone slammer is very, very easy to merge into the lava loon, because essentially it's just a massive balloon. It's a big balloon. So we created the funnel up to the north of the base here with the king. That's very easily. We've created the funnel down the bottom of the base here, and look at the rage spell here for these wall breakers. So if we didn't get this wall compartment open, there's a good chance the queen would have kept walking. However, even if we got that first layer of wall, we did have a bit of trouble with the wall breakers initially getting in. The rage spell was used here not only to help the queen and the healers, because there was a lot of defenses, we were also able to time the wall breakers in to get this wall compartment as well. And what does that give us access to? Look, the queen and the CC now coming out. That poison spell very nicely placed, and the healers doing a fantastic job to keep her alive. Now notice this little minion just sneaking in at the side. If you can do that, again, what that is doing is focusing the fire of the queen into the base, which is very helpful. Stone Slammer again can target them defenses directly, and you don't have to worry about it just being one or two loons. Let's say there's one building that's left and it's a little bit off the path of what you were expecting. You can send the Slammer there and you know it's going to be good. As we come around, it's now just a huge balloon coming in with the rest of them, and again surgically targeting some of these defenses on the outside so that we can keep the main pack in the middle here together. It's not then splitting all over the place. This is actually a good example at the end here, but it is essentially the end of the attack. But notice how the loons split either way. That's fine at the end of the attack. and you actually want that for the final defences. But in the middle of the base, you don't want your loons splitting. Then there's a chance they'll split again, and it just becomes inefficient. You want them to start out wide, come together, and split apart again is how you want it to work. So, there you are guys, 5 fantastic attacks by CrunchTime. Again, be sure to leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed this one. If you haven't already subscribed, there's a button right next to me in order to see all of my videos. But until next time, peace out.